Hello, this is Webb Stuart. Welcome to the Deep Dive audio podcast, News and Reviews, with your host, David Meyer and Laura Wagner.
Thank you to the great one, the one and only, our producer, Mr. Webb Stuart.
Yes, indeed.
Hello, everyone. I'm David Meyer, and sitting to my left side is my co-host of the Deep Dive audio podcast, the amazing, talented, and beautiful Laura Wagner.
Oh, thank you, David. You're so sweet.
Okay, some of these podcasts that we do, we know nothing about, but this company that we are reviewing today,
We know a lot about because we're actually paying customers for the great service that they provide.
that's right. You see, this particular service company that we will be highlighting today is in the Nashville area.
Yep, they're located in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, but their service footprint includes most of Nashville and all the surrounding areas like Franklin, Brentwood, Mount Juliet, Nolensville, Tullahoma, and Smyrna, just to name a few.
I think you might have put it together that we all reside within the Nashville market and produce our Deep Dive audio podcast here as well.
You would be correct, although I reside in one of those outlying communities that I just mentioned. And David, you and your family live in the next town over.
True. So, let's do this podcast almost objectively, although we're actually friends with many of the great people that work there. Let's simply pretend that this is an unbiased podcast. Shall we?
Let's do it.
You take the lead, my dear.
All right, so get this. Today we're diving into the world of lawn care. I know what you're thinking. Lawn care.
I love my backyard.
Seriously. But trust me on this. There's more to it than meets the eye. Especially with this company, SecureLawn. They're serving Middle Tennessee. And we've got a lot to work with. Radio ads with a former NFL player, a website packed with info, customer testimonials singing their praises, social media posts, even a YouTube video about lawn care. We've got the whole 9 yards here. So what makes this SecureLawn outfit so special? Let's find out.
You know, it really strikes me. SecureLawn has carved out this niche in a market that seems, well, pretty saturated. And throughout this deep dive, we're going to unravel how they've done it. They've blended marketing, genuine customer care, and a real understanding of lawn science to build a loyal customer base.
Okay, so they got Ramon Foster for their radio ads. He was a former lineman for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he even cracks jokes about lawn obsession, something I bet some of us can relate to, right? But I gotta ask, does having a football star talk about grass actually sway anyone?
It's certainly an attention grabber, but it's more than just star power. Foster highlights their experience, 20 years in the Nashville market, their local family-owned status, and their no-contract guarantee, you know? They're not locking you in, which says a lot, I think. It implies a focus on earning trust, not just trapping customers.
And they even offer a money-back guarantee. Talk about putting your money where your mouth is. And that leads us to their website, where their motto is neighborly advice, legendary service. Sounds fancy, but do they live up to it?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The service industry. It often grapples with building long-term trust. But SecureLawn seems to be tackling this head-on.
So their About Us page introduces us to the owner, Mark Levinsky. He's got a master's in environmental management, so it looks like they've got brains behind the operation. And he talks about how it all started. He was part of a bigger agricultural company, and he wanted to use their know-how to help homeowners. And here's where it gets really interesting. They're all about employee training and empowerment. Their applicators are certified by the Tennessee Department of Agriculture, and they receive constant in-house training.
That's a smart move. Investing in employees like that, it shows a commitment to quality. And it aligns with their unique incentive structure, where applicators are rewarded for customer retention, not just making a quick sale.
Now, their 7 Series program is pretty fascinating. It's their year-round lawn care plan, and it's incredibly detailed, breaking it down by season, with explanations of what your lawn needs at each stage.
Educating the customer like that is a strategic play. It fosters trust and helps customers feel more in control. So instead of just blindly trusting the process, they understand why and how each step benefits their lawn.
Exactly. So Series 1 is all about prepping for spring during the winter months, focusing on
Putting down a blanket treatment of what they call the kitchen sink. It's a liquid fertilization with the first of 2 pre-emergents for crabgrass control and a broadleaf weed control to start getting rid of those winter weeds. That initial treatment tackles most homeowners' concerns right out of the gate. And get this, SecureLawn begins their Series 1 treatment when the weather breaks in late January and into February. Spring to me, you and most homeowners, is March, April, and butterflies. But spring to SecureLawn is when everything is applied as soon as possible to start waking up your lawn.
Specific challenges of Middle Tennessee's climate. It's not just a generic approach.
Right, and they're not just throwing down any old fertilizer, they're using a high nitrogen mix to boost grass density and that vibrant green color everyone wants. Then Series 3, still in spring. They keep up the post-emergent weed control and high nitrogen fertilizer to really get things growing.
It's like a carefully calibrated recipe
Yeah,
for a healthy lawn tailored to the specific conditions of Middle Tennessee.
totally. And moving on to Series 4, in early summer, it's all about summer-safe fertilizer and weed control. They even offer an optional specialty weed control for those stubborn weeds that just won't quit.
How about Series 5 in the hot summer?
Series 5, well, it simply
Focuses on weed control and liquid fertilizer to help the lawn recover from the heat.
They're really hitting every stage of the growing season, aren't they? It's like they've anticipated every challenge a lawn could face.
You said it. As we head into early fall is where they zero in on soil health. This is where it gets interesting. They bring in lime, which is crucial because did you know? The soil in Middle Tennessee is mostly clay and rock. It's not exactly ideal for growing lush green grass.
That's where the Masters in Environmental Management comes in handy.
Hey.
They're addressing a common issue in the area and focusing on soil health. It's a sign of a company that's playing the long game, not just offering quick fixes.
This whole 7 series program is seriously impressive, isn't it? They've got this whole lawn care thing down to a science. And to wrap it all up, Series 7th in the fall is about winterizing the lawn with a special fertilizer.
It is detailed,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the kind of detail that can really make a difference over time. It's a comprehensive game plan for a healthy, thriving lawn, almost like a personal trainer for your grass.
And speaking of going above and beyond, SecureLawn doesn't just stop at lawn care. They also offer sports turf management.
What's interesting about that is their dedication to athlete safety and field quality. Even for teams that aren't in the big leagues, it highlights the commitment to the community, not just those with fancy lawns.
You're right. It's not just about the pros. They want everyone to have a safe and beautiful playing field. They also offer commercial services for businesses and HOAs, with a focus on enhancing image and providing a dedicated contact person. And for those of us with families and furry friends, they have a pest protection program, specifically targeting those pesky mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks.
It looks like they've covered all the bases,
Yeah.
from lawns to athletic fields to pest control. But let's move on to what really matters. What are the customers saying about all of this?
So we've heard about the programs, the services. But what are people actually saying? Let's dive into those customer reviews and see if their legendary service lives up to the hype.
Yeah, that's the real test, isn't it? Marketing can only take you so far. So let's see. If the experience matches the promises, what are you seeing in the reviews?
One thing that really jumps out is the sheer number of positive reviews. And they're not just generic, like good job comments. People are really going into detail about their experiences. And it seems like friendly service is a big highlight. They constantly mention how pleasant and helpful the staff is.
That echoes their neighborly advice mantra, doesn't it? It seems like they're sending out advisors, not just technicians, people who genuinely care about helping.
Exactly. And it's not just about being friendly. People also rave about how knowledgeable the staff is. They can answer your questions, offer advice. They really seem to know their stuff. And of course, there are tons of comments about noticeable results. People are saying their lawns have never looked better.
That ties back to their 7 series program, right?
Yeah.
And their emphasis on using the right product at the right time. It's not just spraying and hoping for the best.
Oh, and I love this. They get a lot of praise for going above and beyond. Like there's this one story about a customer who was having a mosquito problem between treatments. And SecureLawn came out right away to take care of it. No questions asked.
Wow. That really shows their commitment to customer retention. They're not just trying to make a quick buck. They're building relationships and going the extra mile.
It seems like that dedication to customer satisfaction goes beyond those face-to-face interactions, too. Their online presence is pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah. How are they using social media and stuff?
Well, first off, they're offering a $5 credit if you like their Facebook page.
Yeah.
Always a good incentive, right? Plus, it gives them a direct line of communication.
Smart way to build community. Keep people updated.
Absolutely. And they're not just blasting out ads. They're actually sharing valuable information and engaging with their followers. Like they had this post asking people to share photos of what they're seeing in their lawns this time of year. Pumpkins, leaves, new grass, squirrels. It's a fun way to connect, you know?
Yeah, it humanizes the brand, shows they're part of the community.
They're also really leaning into that neighborly advice part of their motto. They have a post about managing leaves, you know it's fall, and the massive leaf drop in Middle Tennessee. But instead of just saying, call us, they're offering helpful tips and advice.
Positioning themselves as a resource like that really builds trust.
And speaking of resources, their 7 Series program is front and center on the website. They break it all down, explaining each step and why it's important.
It's like they're taking you behind the scenes, showing you the science and the strategy.
And they're not just transparent about the process, they're upfront about their pricing, their guarantee, even the products they use. They emphasize everything is kid and pet safe, which is huge for a lot of homeowners, right?
Yeah, for sure. Builds confidence.
Okay, I got to ask you about this. On their website, they have this section. It's called Our Goal, a weed-free lawn. Is that even possible? I mean, weeds are persistent.
It's a bold claim, and maybe a bit idealistic. They do acknowledge that some weeds are tougher and might need special treatment, like nutsedge, Johnson grass.
And wild violets. And they offer those specialized treatments, so they're not just making promises and then leaving you hanging when the weeds pop up.
Right. They're being realistic.
They even have this fun little factoid, did you know, that some weeds can produce like 100,000 seeds per life cycle. No wonder they're so hard to get rid of.
Yeah, it's like a never-ending battle.
It makes you appreciate the science a little more, right? They really emphasize that a healthy lawn is the best defense.
They call it a bottoms-up approach, you know?
Yeah.
Building a thick, dense turf so weeds can't take hold.
And that circles back to soil health. They even highlight the environmental benefits of healthy grass, absorbing carbon dioxide, producing oxygen, improving air quality. It's not just about how it looks.
Right. It's about sustainability, too.
Absolutely. And speaking of going beyond just lawns, they also have a whole section on tree and shrub care. It's like they want to be your one-stop shop.
Makes sense. Diversifying their services, wider customer base.
Their tree and shrub care program. It mirrors their lawn care program in a lot of ways, regular applications, every 4 to 7 weeks. To protect against pests and diseases. It's that same philosophy.
Preventative care.
You got it.
Customized solutions.
And you can tell they're just as passionate about trees and shrubs as they are about lawns. They talk about nourishing them with essential nutrients, protecting them from infestations.
And attention to detail.
And let's not forget about their sports turf management services. They're targeting schools, organizations, anyone with a sports field that needs some love.
It's another example of their community focus, right?
Yeah.
Not just catering to high-end lawns.
And they're not offering a cookie-cutter approach either. They say they can customize a plan for almost any budget.
That's great. Makes it accessible.
Their sports turf management program includes core aeration, fertilization, overseeding, all tailored to the specific needs of the field.
Different types of turf grass.
Yeah.
Different care.
You know, one thing I really appreciate about SecureLawn is their transparency. On their FAQ page, they answer all sorts of questions about their services, from their no-contract policy to employee training to product details. They even address what happens if it rains after a treatment.
That's smart. Covers those common concerns.
And they don't shy away from the tough questions either, like whether their weed control is effective on all weeds. They acknowledge that some weeds need a more specialized approach. And they explain why.
Honesty goes a long way.
Right. It's that honesty and transparency that builds trust. And they even go beyond their own services, offering advice on things like mowing height, watering techniques, all sorts of things homeowners can do.
It's a true partnership.
Okay, so we've established that SecureLawn seems to have this customer care thing down. But what about their employees? Are they happy? I mean, happy employees usually means happy customers, right?
That's a great point. And it seems
Right.
like SecureLawn has thought about that.
Yeah. On their Meet the SecureLawn team page, they introduce their staff. And they highlight their commitment to excellence and their passion for customer service. It's not just about having a job, you know?
Yeah, it's about being part of something.
Exactly.
A team.
And they emphasize the importance of teamwork, agronomic knowledge, and staying up to date with industry stuff.
Continuous learning.
And you know what else caught my eye? Their unique incentive structure. Remember how we talked about applicators being rewarded for customer retention? Not just making sales. It seems that philosophy extends to other areas of the company as well.
Interesting. You don't see that very often.
Most companies, they focus on those big sales numbers. But SecureLawn seems to get it. They prioritize building lasting relationships with customers and employees.
The long game.
And it seems to be working. I mean, look at all those glowing reviews. People praising the staff. Not just the results.
Well, comes back around.
So it's not just about lawn care, it's about creating this culture of care throughout the entire organization, from the owner to the applicators to the customers. Speaking of customers, there's this one testimonial that really stuck with me. It's from a customer named Troy C. And he sums it up perfectly. He says, "I can't say enough about SecureLawn. I've used them for years, and as a result of how my lawn looks, countless neighbors in my subdivision have followed suit. The folks are professional, personable, great communicators, and can probably do their system for you cheaper than you can if you do it all yourself. Don't hesitate or ponder using them for even a split second. It's worth it in spades."
Wow, that's high praise.
Word of mouth. Happy customers are your best ads. And it's not just about the results, it's the whole experience, the service, the staff, the feeling that you're being taken care of.
That charming approach, it's not just a gimmick.
So what does this all mean? Well, I think SecureLawn has shown us that even in an industry like lawn care, you can stand out. By focusing on those genuine connections, they've built a company culture based on charming customer care and employee empowerment, and it's working.
They've invested in their people, educated their customers, and built a reputation for going above and beyond. It proves that customer loyalty isn't just about a good product. It's about building trust, providing value.
So we've explored SecureLawn services, their marketing, their customer reviews, their online presence, and their charming approach.
We'll talk some more about that charming approach that SecureLawn specializes in right after this brief message.
Hello, I'm Webb Stuart. This deep dive audio podcast is committed to total transparency. As our disclaimer, we use the power of AI to bring you high-quality content. All verbal dialogue in today's audio podcast episode was produced with 100% artificial intelligence with enhanced technology from select platforms. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes exclusively on this YouTube channel. Subscribe now to enjoy more of our deep dive audio podcast, news and reviews, informative videos coming to you soon. All rights reserved.
Okay, we're back on the Deep Dive audio podcast, news and reviews program, and we're talking about SecureLawn lawn care spraying services located just south of Nashville, Tennessee in beautiful Murfreesboro.
That's right, in the borough. We'll learn more about the charming approach that SecureLawn uses in a few more minutes. But first, what have we learned already about SecureLawn? We dug through radio ads, their website, even got our hands on some internal training materials.
Wow, going all out.
They're all about building customer loyalty. I mean, we're talking customers sticking around for like a decade.
A decade? That's unheard of. Most people switch lawn care companies every few years.
Exactly. So we're going to figure out what their secret is and maybe even see if it's something we can all learn from.
Sounds like a plan. Spill the tea. What does SecureLawn actually do?
Well, to start, they've got all the usual services, fertilization, weed control, you name it.
Standard lawn care stuff. Got it.
But they've got this 7 series program. Keeps your lawn healthy all year round.
7 series, huh? Sounds intense.
It's all about timing, they say.
Yeah.
Different treatments at different times of the year.
Makes sense. Lawn needs change with the seasons. So where do they operate? Asking for a friend with a sad-looking lawn.
Pretty much all over Middle Tennessee. Murfreesboro, Shelbyville, Smyrna, Franklin, even parts of Nashville.
Okay, so they've got the services, but what makes them stand out? What's their secret sauce?
Their tagline gives us a hint. Neighborly advice, legendary service.
Catchy, but what does it actually mean? Are we talking like lemonade and lawn care tips?
Basically, it's this whole charming interaction thing they're pushing.
Charming interactions with your lawn guy. Now I've heard it all.
It's all about going beyond just the transaction. Well, let's take a minute to see what the definition of the word charming means. Let's see. It means a person that behaves in a friendly, pleasant way that makes people like them. Other words associated with charming include polite, likable, accommodating, delightful, thoughtful, patient, helpful, engaging, confident, knowledgeable, trusting, and neighborly.
I guess that's one way to stand out in a sea of lawn care companies.
Think about it. Wouldn't you rather have a friendly and helpful technician than someone who just sprays and goes?
Definitely. But how do they guarantee that all their technicians are charming?
It starts with their hiring process. They look for people who are naturally friendly, outgoing.
So personality is just as important as knowing how to fertilize.
Exactly. And then there's the ongoing training. They teach active listening, how to offer helpful advice.
So they're like lawn care therapists. Sign me up.
In a way. But why go through all this trouble? What's the payoff for SecureLawn?
It's all about building relationships. When you create a positive experience, people are more likely to stick around.
Makes sense. Happy customers, loyal customers.
Exactly. And the numbers back it up. Lawn Landscape magazine says most lawn care companies keep customers for 3 to 5 years max.
That sounds about right. People move, they get busy, they try different services.
But with SecureLawn's charming approach, they see customers staying for 10 years or more.
Wow, that's more than double. So being nice actually pays off.
It's not just about being nice, it's about building trust. The classic know, like, and trust factor.
Oh, the marketing trifecta. Bring it down for us non-marketing folks.
People do business with those they know, like, and trust. SecureLawn nails all three. They get to know their customers, they're friendly, and they're experts.
That's smart. They're using charming to build a solid foundation for lasting relationships. So it's not just about friendly chit-chat. There's a real strategy behind it.
Absolutely. It's pretty clever. So besides the charming factor and impressive customer loyalty, what else makes SecureLawn unique?
Well, let's talk about their guarantee. This one's wild.
Okay, lay it on me. I'm ready for wild.
No contracts, free service calls for annual customers, and a full refund for your last treatment if you're not 100% happy.
Wait, a full refund? No questions asked. That's bold.
Right. It's like they're super confident in their services.
They're saying, we trust you and we want you to trust us.
And they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Even Ramon Foster, the former NFL player, raved about it in one of their radio ads.
No way. What did he say?
He was all about how they don't lock you into contracts and how they'll bend over backwards to make things right if you're unhappy.
Wow, if an NFL player trusts them, maybe I should too. So charming interactions, unique guarantees. What about the people behind SecureLawn? Who are these lawn whisperers?
I can't resist any longer. As SecureLawn customers, we're on a first-name basis with everyone there. Besides the owner, Mark Levinsky, there's his brother, Chad, that has been with him since the beginning. Let's see, there's Lorenzo, there's Andrew, C-Dub, Joe, Austin, Ashley, Deonte, and Kendall. In the office is Sarah, Eddie, and Brian.
Their website mentions they have state-certified lawn care and tree and shrub specialists. Okay, so they're experts, they're friendly, but does all this focus on customer interaction come with a hefty price tag?
You know, I find that their pricing is very competitive. I personally found that it was about the same cost of doing it myself. With a service like SecureLawn, I don't have to go to the garden center anymore to select the right product, or should I say products. Apply the treatment safely and dispose of any leftovers. I don't have to worry about the timing or using the correct rates, so I don't burn my lawn. The specialists at SecureLawn are the experts. They are top-notch professionals at what they do every day, year after year.
So it sounds like you don't like any sort of weeds in your lawn.
Nobody wants a weedy lawn.
So SecureLawn's got a strategy to keep those weeds in check.
Absolutely. They target weeds at different stages, makes it much more effective. They're also big on soil health.
Soil health, so it's not just about the grass itself.
Nope. Healthy soil is the foundation. They use soil amendments and beneficial microbes to create a thriving environment.
I'm starting to see why their customers stick around for so long. They're really taking a holistic approach.
And it keeps evolving. As the seasons change, they adjust the fertilization and add treatments for diseases if needed.
Wow. It's like a year-round spa treatment for your lawn. But all this sounds pretty expensive.
That's where things get interesting. They say they're competitively priced, even with all the personalized stuff.
How's that possible? Are they cutting corners somewhere?
Not at all. They just have lower overhead costs, being a family-owned business and all.
Makes sense. No big corporate expenses to worry about.
Exactly. No fancy offices, no massive marketing campaigns, no crazy franchise fees. They pass those savings on to the customer.
That's pretty cool.
But for now, let's shift gears a bit. They also do tree and shrub care, remember?
Almost forgot. Do they bring the charming to trees too?
It seems so. They stress the importance of personalized care, tailoring treatments to each specific tree or shrub.
And they're all about eco-friendly products too, right?
Definitely. That's a big deal for a lot of homeowners. They're conscious of the environmental impact.
Makes sense. So they're not just spraying whatever. It's about protecting those trees and shrubs for the long haul.
Precisely. Healthy trees and shrubs, they add value to your property, make everything look nicer.
But overall, it seems like this neighborly approach is working for them.
I think so too. They've shown that genuine connection matters, even in an industry that's often seen as impersonal.
And it's not just good for business. It's good for the community, too. When businesses are friendly and build trust, it can spread, makes neighborhoods feel more connected.
That's a great point. Businesses have a lot of power to make a positive impact, not just through what they sell, but through how they treat people.
Totally. So is this the future of lawn care? I guess we'll have to see. But they've definitely given us a lot to consider.
No doubt. They've challenged the idea that it's all about efficiency and profit. Maybe we could all use a little more charming in our lives, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Both in our work and in our everyday interactions. So is it time we all embraced a little neighborly advice and legendary service?
What do you think?
So it's less about the specific technician and more about a charming system. That's smart.
Right. Keeps things consistent for the customer no matter who shows up.
But overall, it seems like this neighborly approach is working for them. They've really struck a chord.
Absolutely. It shows that genuine connection has a real impact, even in an industry like lawn care. And it's not just good for business.
Right. It's good for the whole community. Friendly businesses, building trust. It just makes everything nicer, you know?
Totally. Businesses can do so much good, not just with their products or services, but with how they treat people, customers, and employees.
Well said. So is this the future of all businesses? I guess only time will tell.
Yeah.
But SecureLawn's definitely making us rethink things.
No doubt. They're proving that success can be built on more than just cold, hard profit. Maybe we could all use a little more charming in our lives.
Absolutely. Both at work and in our personal lives. So tell us what you think, everyone. Could a little more neighborly advice and legendary service benefit your world?
That's something to ponder for sure. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into SecureLawn. It's been fascinating to explore the power of connection and how it can transform even the most everyday industries.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, everyone. Keep exploring, keep those lawns looking amazing, and most importantly, keep it charming.
This is Webb Stuart. You have been listening to the Deep Dive audio podcast, News and Reviews, with David Meyer and Laura Wagner. Join us next time for another fascinating podcast that has been selected just for you. If you are listening today on YouTube, be sure to click the like button, leave a comment, and hit the notification button for upcoming podcast episodes. Until next time, good day.